Hey GlamFam, it's me, Linwood. I am driving around running my errands. I'm sorry, every time I hear myself say running my errands, all I hear is SpongeBob.
Have you finished those errands? Have you finished those errands? Have you finished those errands?
No one probably gets that joke, but I'm a big kid at heart, so you're welcome. I talked to you guys briefly on, I think like a story or like the community page on YouTube, and asked you if you would want to know kind of what is going on in my life right now, because what isn't turning gray is bound to turn loose in terms of my hair. I've been so busy, slightly stressed, but I'm doing better. It's been extremely busy. So I want to go ahead and give you guys a full update of kind of what's going on. I am in the process of running errands and trying to prep for a class that I've got to travel to Corpus Christi for today. If I look confused, I apologize. I never drive this car. This is Alize Jenkins' car. And this week she decided, you know what, honey, we should switch cars. And I was like, why? Like, this is a minivan, first of all, that I didn't want. I was satisfied in the car I was driving. You said you wanted this. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm riding around here looking like a soccer dad with no kids in the car. Like, for why? I mean, honestly, it does make sense because I don't ever go anywhere, so it saves us on gas. So, Ishkatai. Holy Ghost. Let me give you guys a quick breakdown of kind of what's been going on. I've been staying rather busy lately. So I've been working 12-hour days in the salon, 5 days a week, and then the other 2 days I'm trying to either film or edit or run errands for the salon, pick up supplies, things like that, because I've been pretty busy. Now that's been going on now for almost 2 months. And my clients are not furious, but they could be getting there, because I have been so busy. I have not been able to get a lot of them in the time slots they're used to. It's people pulling their kids out of school to get their hair done. I'm just like, child, I mean, I'm a licensed educator, but I'm for cosmetology, so I can't help your baby with the math homework. Lord knows, new math is a struggle. So I've been saying for a minute that I needed some help. I needed an assistant. To me, it was just something where I was really torn in terms of how I wanted to go through doing all of that, because to be quite honest with you guys, I'm so doggone particular. Like, I don't want just anybody in the salon, and I really don't want just an assistant. I would rather have somebody who is a hairstylist who can assist me. Thank you. Because when it comes down to it, I'm not trying to have them just be chilling around there, like washing towels or things like that, when they could be doing clients' hair as well, and it could be helping out their career, if that makes any sense. Let me order real quick, hold on. Okay, so I'm using a gift card for this, and you guys will understand why that's relevant later, okay? I've been talking about this for quite some time. I told Allison I wanted to go ahead and hire somebody, and she was like, you know what, I think that's a good idea, because usually she's just like, you trying to do more work, because to be quite honest with you guys, I'm a busybody. I work a lot. And my hat goes off to Allison. It's not gonna go off right now because my hair's a mess underneath here. But my hat goes off to Allison because she deals with me so well in terms of some of the extraness and all that type of stuff, especially with me working constantly, and then it puts more demand on her in terms of dealing with the kids as well as creating content, because there's sometimes where I need her to film, I'm not there, I'm having to convey for her exactly what it is I'm needing. There's just a lot that goes into it. Long story short, I ended up reaching out to one of my old students and seeing if she would be interested in working with me, and she was honored that I reached out, but she was like, I need to consider this for a minute, which I feel like is wise, so I'm not salty at all. No high blood pressure over here. So she went ahead and decided to come along and work with me, so there really wasn't like an interview process. It was just like a process of prayer and trying to select the right one. So I went ahead and asked her if she would like to work for me and all that, which she was working in a salon already, so I was like, okay, I want to make sure I'm competing with their pay and with their hours. So she works 10 more hours a week for me, and then she gets paid a bit more for me as well. And then from there, I already know her. I know her work ethic.
Thank you.
Thank you. It makes the process a lot easier.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you, dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So it makes the process a lot easier in terms of all that, because I feel like I already kind of know what to expect from her in terms of strengths, weaknesses, how hard I can push her, all that type of stuff. And she already knows me and how mentally unstable I can be at times, because she's had to witness it firsthand. So it works out well in both accounts, I feel. With that, I've also agreed to go ahead and give her added training, so she's got advanced technique. She's learning things about social media marketing. And so if you guys follow me on Instagram, shameless plug here, follow on Instagram at GetGlamFam. If you're not already, what are you doing? Open up Instagram just so you can follow and find out what's going on behind the scenes, because you would have already met her, you know. But that's neither here nor there. So you know, just kind of working with her on how to promote herself on social media, how to take proper videos, understanding photography, understanding lighting, understanding the angles and the curvatures of the head and how that plays into hairstyling, being able to plan out her days, staying up with her speed, presenting herself with confidence, all that type of stuff, because that's all stuff that you don't get in cosmetology school as a newer stylist, and we honestly just don't have time to teach it in cosmetology school. You just don't. Some of that just comes with experience. So she's been doing an excellent job. I've had to work with her on confidence, things like that. Like I said, that's to be expected. So I'm happy to have her there, because she has been a massive help. In terms of assistant wise, she is excellent. In terms of styling, she's doing a great job there too. I'm just working with her on constantly learning new techniques. And I honestly feel kind of bad, because I know it's a lot of new information to digest every day. And I haven't really let up on her much. It's been one of those things where every day I'm like, okay, here's what we're learning. What do you mean you don't remember this from yesterday? Like, it's a bit challenging. I should probably do a bit better about that, to be quite honest. I don't know. I keep asking her for feedback, so that way if I'm doing the most or being too extra, she can let me know. But like I said, she's kind of seen me be a little mentally unstable before, so I don't know if she's intimidated by that, but whatever. We'll get it all together. So when I first brought her on board was the first of the year. So I had basically 2 weeks to kind of get everything together. So of course there was like ordering mirrors, ordering a new rollabout, getting her blow dryer, getting her flat irons, getting her shears, making sure that I've got extras of everything for her to be able to use, extra towels, ordering mannequin heads so I can work with her on techniques in between clients, getting a proper mannequin stand that's better than the one that I use for the videos, because the last thing you need is something cheap when you're working on stuff. Long story short, it was a lot of stuff. And I did not realize the level of adulting I was going to have to do to get myself together for this. Like, there's so much adulting. I was like, why am I growing up right now? And I'm like 84 years old. Like, there's a lot. When you are working for yourself, you are a solopreneur, whatever the case may be, you can do this with your regular checking account. When you start trying to do payroll for employees and all that, if you're working with a payroll system, they draft monies out of your account for taxes, all that type of stuff, based off of whatever paperwork you fill out. I did not realize I would have to have a business account for that. So I was like, that should be easy, open a business account, the end. But I did not realize that in order to open a business account, number one, like, and forgive my ignorance here for those of you who aren't as ignorant as I was. Hold on, this heat is hot. I'm about to pass out and die. How do I turn this off? This is not my car. So I end up going by the bank, and they were like, how can I help you? And I was like, I want a business account, please. And they were like, so where's your paperwork for that you filed with the state? And I was like, wait, what? Basically, you have to go down to the county and file with the county for a proper business name. So I had to go file for GlamFam in my local area. Of course, with that, you got to make sure no one else has the name. So you got to go through the search on that. You got to go ahead and pay your fee for that. Then you got to file for a DBA, set up your business account, and then from there, you can talk to your accountant about all of that. Now, when it comes down to setting up for taxes and everything else, you got a whole different set of paperwork that you got to worry about, because doing your own taxes as an entrepreneur is already a headache enough. But when you're handling stuff for other people's taxes, I was like, you know what? I feel like there's so much less room for error because I don't want to screw anything up. So of course I had to have her fill out a W-4 and an I-9, which is for like immigration or something, I don't know. And then basically go ahead and get all that together so that way I could have her stuff drafted out under proper stuff, file her taxes for her, all of that, and get things taken care of. I still need to order business checks. I'm struggling to adult, like you guys don't understand. So I was processing credit card transactions before on my cell phone. I decided to go ahead and go back to using a terminal. I used to use one years ago, but I just felt like if it's something where she's working in the salon and I'm not, that I need to go ahead, everything is shifting in the car as I turn. I need to go ahead and be able to have it to where, like, if I'm not in the salon, she can still process transactions, things like that. So that's been a process of getting things set up there too, which means you've got to fill out paperwork for that. I've got to contact them and deal with them basically all online because they are not in my area, but I really like their company, so womp womp. At any rate, so it's getting that taken care of, updating my website to where people can book through her on there, and then still trying to come up with promotional material and things like that to promote for her on my page and let people establish trust just based off of seeing her work, off of seeing my trust in her, off of seeing her in action, things like that, while still encouraging her to go ahead and make her own posts and all that type of stuff. So I'm not just re-sharing the things that she's already doing. I want it to be something where the things I'm posting are unique to what I'm doing and the things that she's posting are unique to that, whatever the case may be. So in terms of all that, there was not an interview process because honestly, I was so prayerful about the whole thing, and to me it was just something where I felt like, you know, I'm gonna pray about it. She is the one, and if she is not the one, then I will not have a one. Now, to give you guys an understanding of my personality, because I feel like you guys see me when I'm acting like extra and all that type of stuff, but oh my gosh, that tea is life-changing. How can I put it? My personality is one where I am like, I want what I want, when I want it, how I want it, or I don't want it at all, because it's not how, when, what, where, and why I want it, if that makes any sense. So that's my personality. It's probably part of the reason why I had to chase Allison so doggone long, because to give you guys a little bit of backstory there, like she and I met each other, Lord, 19 years ago. I chased her for 8 years, and then we ended up getting basically engaged and married. So basically I chased her legs, got tired, dragged her to the altar. We've been married for 11 years, and the rest is history. So nonetheless, that's pretty much how that whole process went. Now, there was an opportunity for me to have her earlier than that 8 years, but it was not in the manner that I wanted her, because she was fresh out of a relationship, and I was like, I feel like I'm a rebound, and so I was just like, no. And that prolonged by like another 2 years, because I'm stubborn and I want what I want, when I want, how I want, why I want, where I want, or I don't want. Okay, so that's pretty much how that goes. And unfortunately, Zelina is exactly the same as me in that respect. But it's gonna work to her benefit, let me tell you, if she uses it right. Long story short, got that going on. Now, I told Allison, because it's my goal, this is not a resolution, is my goal, because let me tell you guys, I'm so goal oriented. It is ridiculous. Look at these grays popping up everywhere. It's just, they're everywhere. They're in the mustache, they're in my nose, they're in my beard. This is what this stress is doing to me. Don't get old. If you're old, welcome me to the club with open arms. If you're young, don't get old. I've got gray sprinkled all in throughout the hair, but for some reason, like there's some in here, they're everywhere. But for some reason, when it started popping up in the facial hair, at first I had a little bit more of a difficult time with kind of dealing with it, but I'm good to go now. I don't know. Honestly, I'm better with it here than I was in the mustache, so I trimmed that one down a little so it was less visible. I don't know where it is right now. The ones in the nose, they had to go. The ones in the brow, they had to go, especially because they were like the old man ones that are like way up here. Anyway, so I don't know what's going on. I cannot stay focused to save my life. So I told Allison that I want to get our house paid off in less than 5 years. So, and we've been in our house now for almost 2 years. So I realized that's an extremely aggressive goal. Thankfully, we have been blessed to be able to do this thing called YouTube, and our subscriber counts have grown, and we are blessed. We are doing well. And I know a lot of times I joke about being broke and busted and all that, but we do earn extra finances off of this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm pouring everything extra that we earn off of YouTube onto paying off our home, because I just hate being in debt. I don't like debt at all. And then on top of that, what I'm doing is going ahead and making cutbacks around the house, things like that. So we're changing homeowners insurance, we're changing car insurance, we're not eating out like we were. From time to time we still do, because I've tackled the whole debt-free situation before. The year that Zan was born, on the same salary we were making before and all that, I ended up paying off $18,000 worth of debt. However, that put so much stress and strain on our relationship, because like I was over here like, I will not buy that 49-cent box of popcorn because we got popcorn at home. So I have to learn how to scale it back sometimes. So yeah, I could probably have the house paid off sooner than I'm projecting if I did it the way I wanted to, but it's not just about me, and it's not just me doing it, and I want to make sure that the kids are able to, you know, have things that they enjoy. Allison is not feeling like she is married to I don't know, Hitler. Like, who's super strict with finances? Not Hitler. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be some terrorist regime if I were able to do things the way I want to. So, yeah. So basically, what I'm doing is trying to pay off. I apologize, you guys. My eyes are always burning, and that's literally what's going on right now. But I'm trying to pay off the mortgage as soon as possible, because when it comes down to it, that is so much money. Like, if you guys don't know the way that mortgage and interest and all that is calculated, so it's different from a credit card. While credit card rates tend to have higher interest rates, things like that, it's a different process of paying for credit cards than it is for paying for homes. So anything, well, same thing with cars. Anything that has a closing date on it, like let's say a loan where you know March of this day it's projected to be closed, it's paid off, it's finished, it's done, they calculate interest typically in a fashion that's called amortization. Now during that, what happens is each of your payments, a certain amount of that payment goes towards interest, a certain amount goes towards principal, and in the case of a home, you also have escrow, where like a certain amount is set aside for taxes, for homeowners insurance, things like that. In the instance of a home, you've got basically a 30-year mortgage, and so you've got interest, principal, all that is being paid. Now with that, instead of it being something where it's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and do it and you charge me monthly on the interest, they charge you on interest up front. It's loaded into the loan, and each of your payments goes to that. Now a little bit of each of your payments goes towards principal, so naturally you're going to be paying a little less in interest going on. But to be quite honest with you, you pay a massive amount of interest at the beginning of that loan. At the midpoint of the loan, like at the 15-year mark, it balances out where you're paying about the same in interest as you are on principal. And then towards the end of the loan, you start paying more on principal than on interest. If you calculate it up with you paying interest and things like that, with all of the payments that you've made, at the end of that loan, you've paid for that house 3 times. Just off of the extra that you're paying in interest and all of that. So to me, what that says is bust your butt, pay whatever extra you can. I don't care if it's $5 extra a month on that principal. Make sure it's designated towards the principal of the house, because that's $5 extra a month for the next 30 years that they cannot charge you interest on. So that's going to save you countless amounts of money. And so to me, it's just something where I feel like I wish that we were educated more on this type of stuff, especially, and I don't want to make this a race issue, but especially in the Black community, we are not really educated as well by our families on finances, on savings, on stocks, on bonds, things like that. And I understand that ignorance is something that goes on across all cultures, all barriers, all boundaries, but as little as my you know what, bump PC, as little as my white side of the family knew, they talked to me about savings, and they still taught me work ethic and things like that. The Black side of my family told me that I needed to go ahead and get a good job, work hard, pay my bills, and take care of my family. And all of that is true, but they never really talked to me about savings, investing, stock, bonds, business, any of that type of stuff. It was basically all an employee mindset. So all of this information that I'm having to learn is really like new information for me as an adult, not something that I grew up with. So if you are someone where you are an adult and you wanted to have your own business, just know that even if you weren't taught that, even if you don't have a business degree, I have never been to college, okay? I don't drive past colleges. You got me like a baby. College is against my religion right now, okay? Like, I might convert later, but right now it's not necessary. And I have been a public school teacher and everything, getting paid more than a teacher with college degrees. So there are loopholes. Just know that. If you want a separate video on that, I can do that. Nonetheless, it has been so busy that I have barely had time to do YouTube videos, to sleep, to do anything. I had to go to the dentist. One of my teeth cracked from the stress of me grinding my teeth and things like that, and all that at night, because I was going to bed processing so much information on what I needed to do for the business and to meet this rather lofty goal that I will meet in the name of Jesus. But it's just been a lot of new stuff to kind of process and to do. So I ended up having to have a crown, and I ended up paying for a proper night guard, so that way all the rest of these pearly almost whites. They're kind of yellowy. It's the tea and the coffee and all the other forms of caffeine I've been ingesting lately. So that's kind of what's been presently going on. I am trying to make sure I'm doing extra and things like that. So I did save and all that. And Allison and my anniversary just passed by. And for our anniversary, she didn't realize it because I was talking about all these different goals and all that. And she knows how I am. That means serious cutbacks. But in this instance, I was like, you know what? I know how she is and how I am. So let me just go ahead and accommodate for both. So I had been setting aside and saving, and I went ahead and surprised her for our anniversary by paying for a family cruise. So part of me is like, that could go on a mortgage, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? We need to make sure that we're focused on each other and on the family and on wellness from all angles. And one thing I am horrible about is taking the time to rest. So if you guys ever see where like there's a break or a pause in me posting, more than likely I did not die. It's a possibility, but more than likely I did not die. I just need some rest from time to time. So like I said, I'm about to go into a beauty supply store. I've been sitting in the parking lot for like 20 ever, and I'm gonna go get some hair and things like that because I have a class to teach in Corpus Christi in 2 days, and I'll be traveling tomorrow, and I am looking forward to it. It'll be a class on social media marketing for salons and things like that, and it'll also be a class on natural hairstyling, extension methods, and making connections in the classrooms for cosmetology teachers to understand how the basic things that you've got to teach can be applied into advanced techniques in salons and things like that, and just making those connections for your students so they understand the relevance of what it is they're learning and why they have to learn it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please make sure to comment them down below. And if you found this in any way beneficial, or you just wanted to support the channel, please make sure to click the like button. Just boop that like button with your finger or your little mouse clicky thing. I don't know what they call it. The arrow. You know what I'm saying. The little clicker. Oh, by the way, I told you guys about my new stylist, Ayana. I'll try to put up some photos of her work and all that type of stuff, but I'll put her Instagram information in the box down below if you guys want to check her out and support her as well. She's not been a licensed stylist yet for a year, but I think she's doing a great job. So be sure to check her out. Let her know what you guys think of her work, things like that. Let her know stuff that you would like to see more of on her page as well, because I'm constantly working with her on different techniques and things like that. And until next time, take care, God bless, stay glam. And I love you, boo.